Hello, Blackhawks fans. Welcome to Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz around your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ, and thanks for tuning in during this extremely slow and dry offseason. Definitely not a lot going on, so we're trying to bring you whatever salient tidbits we can find about our beloved Hawks to keep your puck withdrawals at bay until October 7th, when the puck finally drops. So let's get into the top 4 topics that we found today. I promised to tell you that when it broke, and I'm telling you now. The biggest news over the weekend is that the Hawks ended up avoiding salary arbitration with goaltender Arvid Soderblum. And he got a tidy and little raise. He signed a 2-year, $5.5 million contract. Now, there was a lot of speculation that he wouldn't even be around this long, as he had a pretty terrible 23-24 season when he went 5-22-2 with a .879 save percentage and a 3.92 goals against average. He looked bad, and the numbers reflected that. So the Hawks brought in, as you remember, Laurent Brossoit to back up Mrazek, and Soderblum was supposed to go down to Rockford, but then Brossoit ended up getting hurt with that knee injury, required surgery, and then he never even suited up. So that forced Soderblum back into the picture. And then last year he played 36 games and improved, ending with a 10-18-7 record and a better 3.18 goals against average and an 8.98 save percentage. So he did a ton of work last year with goaltending coach Jimmy Waite and seemed to get some of his swerve back, so that's a great thing. So moving forward, he's penciled in as the backup to Spencer Knight, depending on whatever the heck is going on with Brossoit and his knee situation. So we will definitely let you know as soon as we find out there. But remember, we signed a couple of Russian goalies. We drafted some goal. I mean, we got goaltenders. We got them. So it's good we got Arvid on. So I'm glad that's not hanging out there. Now we gotta sign Kaiser. Our D-man. So let's get him signed up, and that'll be the end of that. So let's talk about one of the more intriguing, or actually one of the most intriguing picks that we had during this draft was that of Mr. Mason West, our third pick in the first round. So we traded up for him. It was a bit of a surprise, right? So we traded with Carolina. We gave, to pick West, we gave Carolina our 34th and our 62nd pick in this year's draft, plus our fifth round pick in next year's draft. And we got Carolina's 29th pick. So we grabbed West. Now, what's not intriguing about this pick is that he's an extremely talented, huge 6'6" forward. He plays for the Fargo Force in the USHL. He's going to be going to Michigan State for the 2026-2027 season to play hockey. So that's all great. What is kind of intriguing about this kid is that he's also a high school football star. So much so that he is getting tons of D1 attention, like all the time. He was just on John Gruden's podcast. Yes, football John Gruden, ex-Raiders head coach John Gruden, and was talking about how he's getting pinged all the time by scouts wanting him to try out for college football teams. So thus far, apparently he hasn't been any takers, or he hasn't been a taker to any of these offers, thankfully. His high school coach told West that he just needs to make whatever decision is best for him and stick to that, which I guess is prudent. And he also said that the Blackhawks and the Hawks fans will just have to get used to their first-round pick getting lots of attention from football programs until he's safely within the arms of the NHL. Okay, well, we're not the most patient group, so let's just hope he gets to the NHL way sooner than later, because that's kind of nuts. All right, moving on from there. We had spoke about, during the offseason, I do these recordings the day before, so right now it's a very rainy and very humid, disgustingly humid Sunday. So a little history note. 27 years ago today, Frank Zamboni died at the age of 87. 87 years young. Hats off to you, Frank. You know the name because he invented that wondrous machine that every hockey fan has dreamt of riding ever since we've laid eyes on it. Very cool machine, pardon my pun. It's not only helped take the pressure off of a whole team of people that had to try to get the ice ready between periods, but with the Zamboni, it could be done by one person in 15 minutes. So progress. Just really very, very cool. The first NHL team to incorporate using Zamboni's machine, you're right, your very own Chicago. No, actually, it wasn't us. But it was another Original Six team, the Boston Bruins. They started using it back in 1954. So, hey, pretty cool. Every time I see it, I'm like, if I drink enough, I know I can drive it, and I know I can get that ice just perfect. But anyway. You know what? Let's go to hot takes. It's Sunday. Again, slow weekend. Not a lot going on. So let's see what everyone has to say. Ernest Dyson, repeat offender, and I always mess up your name, so I am sorry if I say it wrong. But Ernest Dyson, 7979, said, the rebuild isn't that far in. It just seems like it's forever, Ernest. That's what he said. It seems like it's forever because the Hawks we're losing like 5 years before the rebuild began. They made the classic mistake of trying to duct tape the team together around a couple of aging stars who were still playing well. They needed an overhaul after the 2017 season. Now, correct, true. The 2017 season, though, that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's when we traded Panarin, if I'm not mistaken. Who I kind of hope we kept, but neither here nor there. Your point is heard, sir. And we've kind of been in flux ever since then, actually. So, point taken, sir. Gonar 1212 said they need McTavish, and we're talking about McTavish off of Anaheim, who was the third overall pick, I think in like the 2021 draft. They need McTavish, talking about the Hawks. Bedard goes to the wing. Team becomes mid-tiered overnight. Maybe not playoffs, but 10 to 16. Problem with the Hawks. The problem is that the Hawks will want to keep their first round, maybe give up their 27th round, trade Krasinski and more. Anaheim Rob, apparently someone who clearly likes Anaheim, says if the Ducks decide to trade McTavish to a team like Chicago, an early 2026 first-round pick with no protection would be a must, along with next year's second and a top 3 prospect in the organization. Even though Verbeek didn't draft McTavish, he plays a style that the team is going after with young players. Doubt he gets traded. The price will be very high if he does. And I agree. McTavish, his name's being thrown out there a lot. He doesn't like playing for a losing team. And super talented kid. I think he's like 22. And, if he doesn't like playing for a losing team, he is not going to like playing for us right now. But, everyone can dream. He is apparently still on the market. I mean, there's a lot of talk. Teams are after him, like the Canadians, Vancouver's after him, Kraken are after him. Like there's not after him, but there's a lot of talk of all these teams who are very interested in getting him. He's definitely a top 6 player. He's a big center, very talented. We would love to have him. Is it in the cards? It would be great to get him. Who knows? You never know. It's still off season. We have the cap space for it. Like we can afford him. Are we willing to do that? We'll see. Lester, repeat offender, Lester 701 says what the Foligno brothers are doing is great. That is the breast cancer foundation for their mom, Janice Foligno Foundation.com. I am a recent prostate cancer survivor. I got a clean bill of health in 9/24/24. Good on you, Lester. God bless you. Keep doing your healthy green shakes, whatever you're doing to get yourself healthy. God bless you. Thank you for being around, and I'm sure your family and friends are thankful for you being around as well. Sometimes I feel players need to be brought up To the big team. All sports sometimes spend too much time in the minors, as I feel it ruins the players. And that's true, you know. A lot of times the organizations are so big, they want to try to get the best players available. And sometimes you have some really great players, and they just need more exposure, more challenge, but they kind of sit in the minors and they never go anywhere. But point taken, Lester. And hey, I'm glad you're feeling better, buddy, and I'm glad you have a clean bill of health. That is amazing. So that's it. It's a short one today, or a shorter one today, folks. It's Sunday, or today it's Monday. So I hope your day's off to a great start, or hope your week's off to a great start. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this whole community. Thank you for piping in and putting your comments out there and showing your love of the Hawks and showing your support for this, not only for this channel, which I totally appreciate, but also for your support of this wonderful Original Six team that we all love. So please tune in every weekday. Get your daily Blackhawks download, and you always impress your friends and neighbors. You always impress me, of course. I love this community. You guys are great. So really appreciate it. That does it for today. So I'm PJ. I'll see you next time on Blackhawks Daily.